Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Curtis, and today we're going to be starting to look at line 73. But before we get there, that line and many of the other lines the remainder of this week all have various adaptations or variations of 16th note rhythm, so I kind of want to start off by just reviewing and covering those to make sure you understand how to count and clap them before we move on anywhere. So, out of the gate here, up here, looking at example number 1, we have a pair of eighth notes. You'll see I've written the counting underneath every single one of these examples, but I have not yet circled it. So we have eighth note, single beam connecting them. If we look at example 2 below it, you'll see that there's 4 16th notes and there's 2 beams connecting them, the beam being the horizontal line that goes left to right. So if I'm going to write the counting for the eighth note, I'm going to circle the 1 and the te. Right, as we normally do. We circle the 1 and the te. Right, that indicates where those eighth notes are. But then we have this, when we're thinking of it in the terms of 16th notes, we still have ti and ta to consider. That eighth note sustains through ti and ta, each individual one. So it's circle 1, hold through ti, circle te, hold through ta. So when I look at example number 2 for 16th notes, each one of those is going to be circled as they're each an individual 16th note, right? So if I'm going to count and snap the eighth notes, here I go. 1 ti, te, ta. I snap on 1 and te. 1 ti, te, ta. If I were going to do that for the 16th notes, 1 ti, te, ta. Now, number 3, this is a rhythm that makes up a lot of line 73, which is why we're going to look at it. You'll see that the first note only has a single beam, therefore it's an eighth note. But these two notes both have a double beam connecting them, therefore they are 16th notes. So if we look at this first eighth note and we kind of compare it to number 1, we're going to circle the 1, hold through ti, like so. And then if we compare these 16th notes to the 16th notes above them, like everything's vertically aligned here, we'll circle a te, circle a ta. So when I do this rhythm, you can look at yours in line 73 if you need to. If I'm looking at example number 3, I'll snap and count it. Here I go. 1 ti, te, ta. 1 ti, te, ta. 2 ti, te, ta. 3 ti, te, ta. 4 ti, te, ta. I'm holding through ti. If you look at example number 4, it inverts this rhythm. It puts the 16th notes first and then the 8th note in the back. And we can compare this to examples 1 and 2 to figure out what to circle. So we're going to circle 1 and ti for those 16th notes. And then looking at like the back end of 8th notes, we're going to circle te, hold through ta. So instead, like if we look at example 3 here, 1 ti, te, ta. 1 ti, te, ta. Comparing example 4 here, 1 ti, te, ta. 1 ti, te, ta. 1 ti, te, ta. They're flipped. They're a little bit different. So now, with that context, let's take a look at line 73. We have the example number 3 rhythm and the example number 1 rhythm in here. So let's just clap and count the line together, okay? Feel free to go back to this part of the video as many times as you need to get it right. I'll set my metronome to 60. You'll hear some background noise because I got class going on. Here we go. And 1, 2, clap and count and go. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2 ti, te, ta, 1, te, rest. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2 ti, te, ta, 1 ti, te, ta, rest. Now, that's a little bit fast, so let's slow it down like we will in our practice. So our 16th notes are going to be like this. 1 ti, te, ta, 2 ti, te, ta. Here we go, same thing, clap and count. And ready, and go now. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2 ti, te, ta, 1, te, rest, repeat. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2, te. 1 ti, te, ta, 2 ti, te, ta, 1 ti, te, ta, rest. So make sure that you can pizzicato that. The notes themselves aren't hard. It's the rhythm that's a little bit tricky. once you've done that, you've pizzicatoed it. Make sure you shadow bowl along with me a bunch of times while you're counting so that we get this locked in. Here we go. Let me set my metronome just a hair faster. Here we go. I've got mine set to 50. Here we go. Find the balance point. And 1, and 2, and ready, and go now. Off, reset. Make sure you give that last quarter note full value. Fingers firm on the tapes. Check the rhythm. Count and clap it as many times as you need to. Good luck.